No two students will make exactly the same connections, but it's important that they be allowed to form those connections in order to make meaning out of it. And that's what history is. History is meaning making. It is constructing their own learning.
There's nothing more important than the social studies. It is the way that these students will learn to live in this world, not in the future, but right now.
It's the same as any historian. When they have a primary source, they're interpreting it too. And why would this person's interpretation be any better than this person's interpretation?
I think that as teachers, we just have to give every opportunity that we can find. And we have to find a place for every child. We can never say a child cannot express their thoughts. There has to be a way for every child to find an avenue of expression. And that's how their mind really becomes alive, and that's how they become excited about learning.
These students are going to become even more aware of the relevance and the importance of power in the political process.
If you ask the big questions, you need to honor whatever comes back to you. And it may not be what you expect. And it may not always fit the rubric exactly.
It was scary for them because a lot of kids, they come up and they, well, what's the right answer? What answer do you want me to give you? Whereas, I'm saying, well, there is no right or wrong. You just have to tell me what you think.
Valuing the landscape, noticing it, valuing it, appreciating it, preserving it. And the other goal is to get, beautiful imagery into kids' minds, sort of filling it sort of as an antidote to a lot of other stuff that goes in there, sort of video games and that kind of thing.
When we think about a human being, a basic human being, they need to eat and sleep and rest and play. And to give children the opportunity to see that a Japanese child will eat and sleep and play and have a family.
And if we go beyond the traditional way of looking at participation or citizenship as, well, every 2 years I'm going to vote, that is just such a very narrow definition of what citizenship's about. That's just one small component to it. It's all the work that goes behind that.
The children have seen, either in newspapers, on television, in movies, about their expanding world. And I feel that the job is easier in terms of teaching social studies because they're more aware.
We need to teach children to be problem solvers, to be lifelong learners, to figure out how to gather information for themselves. And we need to teach the broad concepts that are going to enable them to gain the information. So I do teach a lot of problem solving.
It was really exciting to see them actually being social scientists and doing real research.
The main scope of the course, which is to look at these larger issues, which incorporate all kinds of information about humans on Earth. It incorporates history and demography and study of religion and anthropology. It takes all these subjects and looks for the big picture.
Most children, that's the hook, not the end of the line. It's the thing that gets them started. And if you really think about geography or history or any social studies area as the place that you can integrate the other disciplines, then you always can have time for it.